Of course, the Saskatoon Blades are the hosts of the Memorial Cup, and when you're talking about all-time Saskatoon Blade greats, you're going to have to mention the gentleman to my immediate left, Mr. Bernie Federko. Welcome back to Saskatoon, sir.
Very nice to be back here in Saskatoon.
I can imagine. Talk a little bit. First of all, I don't know how often you get back here, because I know you live in St. Louis, and you're busy there, certainly. What's it like coming back after all these years here to Saskatoon?
Well, you know, my mom still lives here, and my wife is actually from here, so I've got a couple of brothers, and she's got a bunch of brothers and sisters here, so we get back to Saskatoon every year. So it's exciting for me every time to come back. I've got a lot of friends here. I've got a lot of great memories. This is kind of where it all started, and I still, appreciate all of the things that Saskatoon did for me. So every time I come here, whether it's for a week or sometimes 2 weeks, we always have a blast.
Yeah, I can imagine. And certainly I'm sure people still remember you as being one of those all-time Blades greats, even though back in the 70s we're talking about. You must have some great memories of those years playing downtown in the old barn here in the city.
It was great. I mean, I've got a lot of great memories about that with Jackie McLeod, and, we had, especially my last 2 years, we had great teams back in 75 and 76. In fact, we lost in the 7th game of the Western Final to go to the Memorial Cup, so we were that close and, yet so far away. But, the old barn was great. It was loud, when you're winning, and we were winning all the time here. And those were the years where we won almost every home game. Our road record, I think, was not as great as it should be sometimes, but we were one of the top teams in the league those couple years, and to go through I guess the growing pains of trying to learn how to be a professional hockey player, this was a great place to learn the trade.
Absolutely. I mean, you talk about the way that playing at that junior level, playing in Saskatoon prepared you for the NHL, because you went on to an outstanding NHL career as well. Do you really feel the time in Saskatoon helped pave the way for that?
I've said it many times, been asked this question by a lot. I think that the best coach I ever had was Jackie McLeod. I think that Shaky knew every system to every system, because of his time that he spent with the national team. I think he was one of the pioneers in with the X's and O's and knowing exactly what the systems were all about, and he taught us all those systems. So I think if anybody prepared all of us that played for the Blades to go into pro, I think it was Shaky. His players, even if they didn't win it all, they still were prepared a lot more than some of the other teams to become players as professional players.
Absolutely. And along those lines, talking about being at the Memorial Cup, being one of those top-ranked players, because that's something you can identify with. You went high in the NHL draft, and obviously this year's Memorial Cup, we're seeing a lot of NHL caliber players who figured to go first round or first couple of rounds at least. If these guys are coming to you for advice, even though it's different eras, what are you telling these guys as they prepare to embark on their NHL careers?
Well, they just have to be themselves. I mean, they just have to play the game that you were taught to play it. I mean, you have God-given skills, and if you're going to be a high draft pick, obviously you've got some skill, and I don't think you need to change your game. Everybody is a scorer or a passer, whatever you is. I don't think you should go and try to do too much. I think there's lots of the games that you have to continue to learn. I mean, I don't think anybody at 19 or 20 or 18 for the most part now when they're getting drafted these kids maybe don't know everything about the game, but obviously they're smart enough that they're going to learn the rest of it. But I think you should always go with what you do best, continue to do it, and I think this is really a great place to showcase that, the Memorial Cup. I mean, there's a lot of great kids, and the CHL I think provides the greatest springboard to the National Hockey League. All these kids are really they're game tested. I mean, they do the travel. I mean, they play a long schedule. They're not just playing weekends like when you see a lot of other players will play, like whether they're playing college or over in Europe. I mean, they're not playing all the time. So I think they've been tested in every way. They've got great coaching. They know what they're doing. So I think that's why the CHL has really prospered so much, because they're the grassroots for so many great pros that turn into the NHL.
Well, we're definitely going to see some of those great players coming up over the next 10 days or so. Hope you enjoy your time here and back in Saskatoon and get to take in some of the Memorial Cup.
Thank you very much. I know I'll have a great time. I'm going to be here for the whole time, so I'm excited about watching the games, and I'm excited to be really a big part of the Memorial Cup.
Thank you, Bernie.
Thank you.